Welcome back to the Daily Nation News Network. Marjorie Taylor Greene strikes again. She recently made some contentious remarks on the House floor. The representative's statements drew harsh criticism from internet users. In this video, we'll look at some of Marjorie's most controversial statements as well as the reactions to them.
The Republican Party that we want to burn to the ground, Steve, that we want to die and go away. I spoke to President Trump just a little over an hour ago. Absolutely love him. I love him. I have so much faith in him. He is walking into an arena filled with people that want to murder him. He's got to be questioned by Jake Tapper that called him a terrorist, called him a Nazi.
According to the article published by rawstory.com by Daniel Hampton on June 26, 2024, the headline states, Marjorie Taylor Greene baffles the internet with the latest statements. The article then goes into further detail. Marjorie Taylor Greene left mouths agape by stating the obvious. A person who abuses her position in government to meddle in democratic elections should be nowhere near the public office. This is the same Marjorie Taylor Greene who's a devout supporter of former President Donald Trump, who faces criminal charges of trying to overturn his democratically elected opponent's win. The following clip was posted 3 years ago. The Republican U.S. Congresswoman had posted tweets condemning Georgia election officials and expressing support for debunked theories.
On Sunday morning, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene sent several tweets, with Twitter later slapping this disclaimer on 3 of them. It reads, "This claim of election fraud is disputed, and this tweet cannot be replied to, retweeted, or liked due to a risk of violence." Each flagged tweet includes disputed or debunked claims about the November 3rd presidential election or January 5th.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was unable to provide any evidence to back her claims. According to a recent Newsweek.com article by James Bickerton published on June 27, 2024, the headline states, Marjorie Taylor Greene snaps at TV host over Trump question live on air. The article then goes into detail. Marjorie Taylor Greene had an intense exchange with an Australian TV host on Tuesday after being asked whether she'll accept the 2024 presidential election result if Donald Trump loses. On January 6, 2021, hundreds of his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in a bid to prevent the election result from being certified. Appearing on Australian Broadcast Corporation ABC current affairs show 7.30 to discuss the release of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, Greene was also asked about November's upcoming presidential vote. The host, Sarah Ferguson, questioned, "If it doesn't go your way, if Biden wins, will you accept the result?" A visibly irritated Greene replied, "Again, what does this have to do with Julian Assange? That's what we're supposed to be talking about."
You've never accepted the results of the 2020 presidential election. Indeed, you've lionized people for the attack
Sarah,
on the Capitol.
aren't we talking about Julian Assange?
Well,
Sarah,
it's a
are you even a
law.
serious interviewer? I thought we're talking about Julian Assange here today.
We are.
That's what you were asking me to come on
Indeed.
your Australian news show. I don't usually do interviews like this because people like you can't be taken seriously.
A clip of the exchange was posted on X by Midas Touch, a self-styled pro-democracy media outlet where it received more than 850 reposts and 170,000 views. According to the HuffPost.com article by Ben Blanchet, published on June 27, 2024, Greene introduced an amendment on the House floor to bring the salary of the U.S. Agency for International Development Administrator Samantha Power down to $1 over diversity, equity, and inclusion directives. The far-right Republican, in a move that adds to other GOP-led efforts to go after DEI programs and initiatives, also linked Power to influential left-wing foundations to weave a theory that the Biden administration officials and other groups are keeping close to execute extreme policy initiatives. Instead of fulfilling her role as an administrator, Samantha Power is focusing on imposing a left-wing agenda throughout the entire U.S. government and its proxies around the world. Greene later proclaimed. Social media users on X criticized Greene over her election remarks, declaring that her hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Mr. Speaker, my amendment reduces the salary of Samantha Power, the administrator of the United States Agency for International Development, to $1. Samantha Power is a globalist left-wing activist who uses government positions to force the regime's views on the American people and the rest of the world.
In other news, APnews.com article by Steve Peoples, published on June 27, 2024, states that former Republican Representative Adam Kinzinger endorsed President Joe Biden on Wednesday, giving the Democrat a prominent new ally in his high-stake campaign to win over moderate Republicans and independents this fall. While I certainly don't agree with President Biden on everything, I never thought I'd be endorsing a Democrat for president. I know that he will always protect the very thing that makes America the best country in the world, our democracy, said Kinzinger, who voted for Trump in 2020.
I'm a proud conservative. I always have been. As a proud conservative, I've always put democracy and our Constitution above all else. And it's because of my unwavering support for democracy that today, as a proud conservative, I'm endorsing Joe Biden for re-election. So while I certainly don't agree with President Biden on everything, and I never thought I'd be endorsing a Democrat for president, I know that he will always protect the very thing that makes America the best country in the world, our democracy.
According to Newsweek.com article by Rachel Dobkin, published on June 23, 2024, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, Brian Glenn, a conservative media personality, was filmed getting into a heated clash with Adam Mockler, a Midas Touch reporter and critic of former President Donald Trump, on Saturday. Do you think that Donald Trump, when he was convicted on all 34 counts? What do you think about that? Mockler asked Glenn in the video. Trump and his allies claim the trial was a sham and that the case is politically motivated. Glenn called it a worthless case to Mockler, who then asked, why is it worthless? It's worthless because there's no crime that was committed, Glenn said. To which Mockler reported, falsifying business records with the intent of covering up another crime? Glenn interrupted, that's what they said. That's what you say. Mockler responded, that's what the jury said. The jury handpicked by Donald Trump's lawyers. I know that's what you're all about right now, Glenn said. You're not an independent journalist. You're nothing but a Trump hater, and you're out here trying to get everybody tripped up.
The 34 indictments are worthless.
You're saying that our entire... Wait, let me finish.
It comes down to one question. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have Joe Biden in the White House for another 4 years?
Absolutely. Okay. President Biden...
Interview over. Okay. I don't want to talk to anybody that has any... You have zero common sense.
You're undermining our entire justice system when you say this jury...
your ability to elect the next president that's competent.
I'm sorry, I don't want the dude that made his supporters attack the Capitol.
On that fateful day, a mob of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in a failed attempt to stop the certification of Biden's 2020 election victory, following claims from Trump that the election was stolen. There was no evidence to support such claims. Trump had pleaded not guilty to 4 federal felony counts for his alleged actions surrounding January 6th and claims the case against him is politically motivated. It was a sad day for America. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching the Daily Nation. God bless America.